What's up, everybody? I know it's been a minute, but we're back. Gang, gang, Echo 4. This is your host for tonight, today, tomorrow. What time is it? It's Drea, y'all. What's up? What's good? What's popping? And here we are gathered today talking about No Way Home, Spider-Man. That last movie. Everybody finally watched that shit. Thank God. I've been holding it in this entire time.
Same.
But before I get into the shit, let's say hey to the squad.
It's your boy, the Mad Prince. I ain't got nothing else after that.
And your boy can't sign.
All
God
right.
damn.
No Way Home, y'all. Give me your first impression. Did it meet your expectation? Did it supersede it? Did you have any? How hype were you after the movies? When the credits rolled, tell
Boy,
me.
that shit was fire.
Gimme.
Yeah, like I I tried not to have expectations, but I had some expectations and they were exceeded. And yeah, I enjoyed it so much. It was dope. It was dope. It was dope.
Now, if there were ever around the blowjobs that need to be had, it's for those motherfuckers in that ride.
Woo. This is a sloppy toppy we're not taking back. That last one, we like, you know what, sir? After Bad Batch, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that was a bad batch.
Andrea, get in
I have
there.
a question.
Get y'all shit together, boys.
I have a question for the Mad Prince. Do you still think Dave Filoni still deserves
I
them
do.
sloppy toppies?
I knew you was gonna say.
Shit. Maybe a hand job.
With or without lotion, or is it spit?
Shit.
You're so graphic.
No, no.
Hey.
Spit.
Probably spit, bro. Yeah. You get a loogie, John. No, you get that shit from the morning. Be like,
Yeah.
you get that shit.
I can't.
Let's get into the plot. It's the multiverse. Tom Holland. What we're gonna call him Spider-Man number one. Spider-Man number one. Made a wish on a wizard that I want to keep my identity, but just let these people just forget about that I'm Spider-Man. He said, but not my auntie, but not my girlfriend, not my best friends, and it fucked up. So anybody in the multiverse that knows Spider-Man was just leaking through. So now with the tonality of the MCU and Loki, when it comes to the multiverse and variants, how did you feel about the whole Spider-Man therapy session? I'm gonna fix these villains. Would you have tried to fix him, or he's like, nah, go back to your timeline, the sacred timeline. Gone back.
Shit. I mean, I would have been on. I would agree with Doc. With the Doc on that one. I'm like, yo, this ain't no problem.
Right? Right.
It's like, bro, it's like
No.
literally, it's like the longer we wait this shit out, therapy takes time. Like, yo, the longer we wait this shit out, the more problems we gonna get. And even then, even when they actually tried to do the therapy shit, what happened? More problems. So it's kind of like, I mean, hey, I applaud him because I mean, shit, he a better person than me. But I would have said, fuck that, send him back, return to sender, nigga, shit. I'd have took that box with the button on it, with the spell and shit, and looked them dead in the eye. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. You at the crossroads. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No, they are at the crossroads because they're in the same universe. That they got to split up.
Bye. I'm not surprised. It's been a while since I dealt with Kens and his damn puns. So we're talking about the villains. There were how many total? 4, Five.
It was Doc Ock. It was Green Goblin. It was Sandman, Electro,
Electro.
and Lizard.
Wizard.
Yeah, so 5.
Mhm.
So, which out of those performers, who surprised you the most? Because they got a lot of moments.
Surprise, as in
As
like,
in, who impressed you? Who stood out to you with your villains?
yeah,
You know what? I
he
have
well,
never seen anything with Willem Dafoe in it that was bad. That's real.
he's too good. Like I just expect him to be good.
That
It's like,
says a lot.
but but that in that sense, he didn't surprise me because I expected him to be good. Have different words.
Still
He,
knock that shit out, boy. 20 years since he played that role. But man,
You spun your last web, Spider-Man.
Man, like his
oh, he got
role felt more complex because he was lost.
he, he said he went to his house and was like, I was not there or something. His kids didn't exist. He was like, what he did. It's like, I don't know, I don't exist. Like, what is going on?
Talk about these villains. I love that scene where they just realized they all died in their respective universe. Like, yeah, I was on. And wait, what?
Yeah, and I was fighting Spider-Man.
Wait,
I was fighting Spider-Man.
it went dark.
I to say goodbye. Hey, I was fighting Spider-Man and I just heard Boys to Men. I don't know what happened.
How do I say goodbye?
So, talking about the multiverse, we get our variants. So, tell me, how impactful was it for you to see Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield again? Did you enjoy their respective movies? Did it change your impression? Give me your
Girl,
feelings.
that's so
You
much
know what
to
the sad
impact.
part about this?
Go ahead, Frank.
You know what the sad part about this shit is that someone spoiled this shit for me on Twitter like a few weeks before the shit came out, and I was low key kind of hoping that the shit was just like photoshopped and shit because the quality wasn't good. So I'm like, well, I mean, that's been the speculation this whole fucking time. It's kind of implied, and I'm like, oh, so I'm sitting there like, oh, okay, so the leak was real. Fuck. Okay, I'm fucking with it. I knew it was real when Matt Murdock came
Yeah.
out because they had a picture of that name. Because that was one of the
Yeah.
things I saw when Matt Murdock came out, and I'm like, and you know what? That's one of the dopest shit because that means that all
Yes.
the Netflix Marvel shit is like canon to this. And like I had read up on that deal, and like apparently Disney can't do shit with those characters for like 2 years after they premiere, after they last debut or whatnot.
Oh, okay.
So that's why Matt Murdock and by extension Kingpin, why they showed up in recent shit because Kingpin was in
Okay.
Hawkeye.
Spoiler alert.
So
if you didn't watch Hawkeye.
Don't worry,
this
I'm
whole
slow to
thing is
watch
a
that.
spoiler alert. Anyway, but
Well, that's
yeah.
different content though.
So like eventually, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get Jessica Jones and fucking Luke Cage and Punisher, like maybe in the oncoming years though. But I mean, and Danny Rand. I kind of want to see how that story ends though, but that's besides
Danny
the point.
Rand.
Seeing all those, seeing like the fucking Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man show up and shit. It's kind of like because they stories kind of like ended off in like a weird way where it could have been more,
Or didn't
and
end.
it redeemed them because like Spider-Man 3 was ass, and like Amazing Spider-Man 2 was so out of pocket for some of the shit that they did though, and like this one kind of gave them like a resolution that they deserved, like a real resolution that they deserved, and that was dope as hell to see.
Wait, what was the original question, Drea?
As in, was it impactful for you to
Oh,
see
yeah.
them? And did it like change your perception of these characters and their films? Because like I didn't really care for Amazing Spider-Man, but they gave Andrew Garfield so much material that I felt that shit.
Honestly,
Yeah.
when I watched Amazing Spider-Man, I thought
he was a very good Spider-Man. I thought he was really good. I just thought the movie was trash. And it was
Yeah.
just so unfortunate for him to be a part of this franchise where I felt that he was definitely capable of being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And so I always liked him. And I'm gonna be honest, when people were like talk shit about him. Obviously, Tom Holland being the new Spider-Man and then Tobey Maguire being the original Spider-Man. He just felt like the middle child of the
Yep.
Spider-Man universe.
Exactly.
And I was just like, but he's not bad at all. Like he's really good. And I thought seeing him in this movie, I was like, yeah, that's literally how I felt about him in his movie. It's just that the movie was just trash. So I thought they did a really good job. And I just love like how meta they got, even when they were talking about when Toby was like, you are amazing. And I was just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
like,
Yeah.
boy,
No. Yeah.
like, yo,
No. You're not lame. Like
Not
because no,
lame.
because like
You're
yeah,
not lame. And, like,
yeah.
and
Yeah, that's one thing I could say. Yeah, I because that's but my whole sentiment the whole time. It's like the whole time I was like, man, the Amazing Spider-Man movies like they suck because the writing was not
yes,
good for the whole storyline. But Andrew Garfield, he played the
he
hell out of
did.
Spider-Man. I would,
I,
as a
like,
person who read the Spider-Man comics growing up a lot. Like I felt for me, I feel like his rendition of Spider-Man was the
Hmm.
best when it comes to taking the nerdiness that he is. He's naturally curious with how things work, how people are, and then he's also very helpful as well. But also he's sarcastic too. Like
Very. He's
he
like the
played
millennial
all
Spider-Man,
yeah,
to be honest.
like here's
He's
my
us.
like my opinion is that Tobey Maguire made a better Peter Parker than a Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield made a better Spider-Man than he played than the Peter Parker. And Tom Holland is really the middle child in this because he's the one he's the best of both
He
worlds.
is. I love
But
Tom
each
Holland.
one of them do the different aspects
Hmm.
better. And so he's kind of like the culmination of both of them.
Mhm.
And that's what's dope to see because you see that comparison when they finally meet up and do everything together and shit.
Oh,
And
I
yeah, so
loved it.
that's always been my opinion. Like I never hated Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, but that second movie it just had some bad writing. Like it
Yeah.
was just like it felt too much like a departure from what like Amazing Spider-Man like the first movie was because the first movie was dope as shit. I
Mhm.
love that shit. This second one was kind of like damn.
And that was the one with
We ain't seen the
Electro,
three.
right? Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the one with
Yeah.
Electro, yeah.
And with and what was it Hobgoblin? Because yeah,
Yeah.
and the Sinister
Yeah.
Six, like it's like they crammed so much in there because like
Yeah, they did.
yeah, it was one of those where like they try to
It was
fit too much.
oversaturated.
Yeah, it fit too much in too little time, and
Yeah.
but yeah,
I definitely
Boy ain't
thought
got a neck broke.
oh yeah, that scene,
Ooh, that
man,
was sad.
and
I'll
then
be honest. That was
Ooh.
so
That was
sad.
then
and
that
you saw how he felt when he saved
Oh my
Michelle, and I'm
god.
oh
like,
man,
man,
Yeah.
like
That
I was
hurt me
feeling
right
that,
he was
here.
like,
I
damn.
felt that he was like,
And she like, are you okay? He
I'm
like,
like, what?
And
I'm good.
it was a
You
soft cry for me. I was like,
I'm
oh.
like, damn.
that
My
what
man was really in it though. It was like, god damn. I
but
felt
that
that
Yeah,
what
you
shit.
hurt me
are
because it's
you are
like
stuck
I
right
felt that
now.
shit.
mm-hmm.
like they gave him so much emotional shit to deal with, and it's like it felt bittersweet because like, damn, your story's over, and now I'm invested
But like I
in
heard
your
after
journey.
the movie is that they're like, oh, we need a Amazing Spider-Man 3. Like people want
Yeah, they
them
started
back.
saying that shit, and I'm like,
No,
nah.
give me Andrew Garfield.
They gave him so much material that I'm like, damn, your
No, I
shit
felt
over,
like
but
no,
you did it.
I feel like they gave him the perfect resolution
Mhm.
and like in No Way Home that to try to dig any more out of that shit will be detrimental to his
You
story
think
arc.
so?
That would just be yeah, it'll just
Yes.
be like monetary reaching and yeah, because at that
Because
point, like
I
with
mean
Maybe.
you ain't gonna strike gold every fucking time. And if you try it too hard, it's gonna suck. Again, Spider-Man 3. He tried too
But you
hard.
know what? I was talking
Nigga.
to my boyfriend's nephew, and he really wants to see Andrew Garfield in the movie again, and he's just like, "Yeah, we could do Spider-Man 3." And like he's so excited to see him back in the Spider-Man universe and the Spider-Man, like, just being Spider-Man. And I'm just like,
I mean, I
I
would want
want
to
to
see him
see
play the
him
role
play
too.
it.
I just don't trust Hollywood
I don't
enough
trust
to do
Sony,
it good.
to be honest.
I don't trust them niggas.
Yes. Drea.
I mean, you saw.
I think I would like to see him like go through his bitter Spider-Man stage because he's like, I don't want you to be like me.
Actually, I'll be really
Just
interested to
honorary.
see like a darker, not Tobey Maguire darker Spider-Man 3, but a darker.
That was
That was
something.
I don't know what that was.
An emo phase. And
that was an emo scene phase. Like he had a little swift bang, bang, bang.
That bullshit.
when Doc Ock was like, "How you been?" And I was like, "Oh, he been through some
definitely
things."
been through some things. I was.
While we're on about the Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, give me your favorite bromance moment.
When he found out that Tobey Maguire doesn't need a web shooter, that shit was weird. Yo, it was weird. They were like literally on the Statue of Liberty, and they were like, "So yeah, how does that shit work? Like, you just like you don't need like yo, is it really weird? Like, no, I mean, it's interesting. Like, cause because like even
does
I
it
thought
come out of other holes?
Right,
No.
I know. They nasty.
I mean, shit. I mean, what was funny was that even my when that first came out, like in what was that, 99 or some shit. My fucking auntie, who was like, "Damn, that shit ain't like the comics," and I never known my auntie to read comics, and she was like, "That shit weird as hell." I'm like, okay, so, and I grew up watching the '90s cartoons and shit though, and like this niggas always needed web shooters. Why they made that minor change, I do not know, but it was kind of like it was weird to see them address.
I'm glad that they did
it was all
because
it was all
it was in our minds though. It's like all of us just like we know.
No, I've always
This is like why the fuck did that
the
come out of
only
his like it biologically it comes out of him, but everybody else got to make a web shooter. So yeah, I do like that moment. I like them all.
Give me another
like
one.
just trying the science everything in that moment like together. It was like, yeah,
that was weird for me because I'm like, Tobey Maguire wasn't much of a scientist, nigga. You was
I
a
know
photographer.
that was the thing.
What you
but
missing
see,
chemicals
his
for?
character, I think that was like just really a missed opportunity. He was smart.
Yeah, he was a scientist because he was working with Doc Ock and shit. And
Man,
he was working in the labs and shit. I mean, it's
okay.
Visually,
yeah. I mean,
I
it's
just
been a minute,
remember
but
him being a.
It's just like if they
on
were to
top.
have like stats, like his like nerdiness stat probably wouldn't be as high as
like Andrew and
Angel,
Tom
yeah,
Holland,
yeah.
but definitely like I know they're all supposedly are really, really, really smart, and I just like that they're always in the same like scene. And I forget who was or was it Ned or Michelle that said like Peter, and they all answered at the same time. I love that scene. It was
they did the meme. They're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's the meme. Internet.
I thought that scene was great.
When they catch Norman, it was like, "Hey, I'm something of a scientist myself." I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, this meta shit.
But I would say this: my absolute favorite scene is when they finally get to the Captain America Statue of Liberty, scene, and they're all like launching at the same time, and I was just like, I didn't know I needed this. I didn't know. I was smiling from ear to ear.
I'm like, that statue is capped because they ain't painted black. Y'all gonna put a shield on the Statue of Liberty? Paint the motherfucker black.
He just turned Captain America.
Paint the motherfucker black.
You gotta give Sam some
like
time.
they should paint it first before they put the shield on. They gotta.
But they quick as hell to change an iconic statue like that. Let's put a big
Damn.
ass shield on it. Shouldn't we paint it black? Hey,
Prince.
relax. Like,
Prince,
nah, nigga.
Prince,
That's too
stop,
much. That's too
stop,
much.
That's too much.
stop.
That's
Because
too much.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, why we doing him? But it's okay. It's okay. You know, he helped with
That shit should
Thanos.
look like obsidian, goddammit. It should be black and shiny, nigga.
Obsidian.
Or black onyx.
What about you, Ken? What's your
In
favorite
that respect,
bromance
it should be
moment?
bigger than.
Yeah, if pretty much same as Will has said like that. Yeah, that
Yes.
that
Nigga,
moment.
what did you do?
It should be bigger than. I heard. I was trying to ignore it.
You couldn't ignore it.
Tried.
When motherfuckers coming to Ellis Island, you've been black.
Shut up. Shut up.
Jangling.
Bye. I'm weak. Continuing on. So, did anybody thought that Aunt May was going to die? Because when she said the line, I said, she said the line. I didn't really thought that saying the line was a death sentence.
See, like,
So when she took it to the back, I'm like, ah.
nah,
So
that was like,
that's how she got hit. I'm like, oh.
I was like, she's a
Oh
wrap.
no. Oh no.
I physically gasped. I'm like,
Oh no.
Yeah,
Man, can't breathe. Oh no.
bro.
Oh goddamn. I'm
I
like,
vividly remember seeing the frame where she got
yeah.
folded the other way.
I'm
So
like,
like,
no.
no, she,
I'm like,
like,
ain't
she
no
ain't
way.
fine. No, she ain't fine.
And she got
No
back up,
way.
I'm fine. I was like, no, you're not.
Like, nah,
You're not.
she holding that damn good. Because I know that hurt. I
Oh
know
my
that
god.
hurt.
Nah,
I
that
was
shit-
it was the adrenaline, definitely. That kept her. It's just like she's like she got back up and she's like, I'm fine. And she went over to Peter, and Peter thought for a second till she fell. And I was like, and when she said the line,
That
I was
shit
like,
was-
oh, this is his
That
moment.
shit was hard
Yeah.
to watch.
I was like,
That shit was hard to watch, bro.
because like we've seen her in so many movies already, and I was just like,
I thought he was going to be the exception.
but as you can see, it's
Well,
like,
then.
what is it called when damn, it happened in the Marvel animated series. Some point. I feel like that's like one of those points in the Spider-Man universe that they all have to go through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
defining
Yeah,
moment.
it's defining moment, but they called
Yeah.
it something else in
Yeah.
What If. But yeah, it's just one of those defining moments that make Spider-Man Spider-Man. And I just couldn't believe that we were actually watching his origin story. Like I felt like he was already Spider-Man, and I was like, oh, we're actually watching him become Spider-Man for real, for real. Not
like the full identity that comes with it, something that is essentially the commonality of all
Exactly.
Spider-Men.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah.
lose somebody, and I thought we already went through that because he lost Tony. So I'm like, there wasn't no Uncle Ben. So I'm like, oh, maybe it happened already.
Well, Uncle
he
Ben
lost
was
Tony.
already dead.
That's what I thought.
That's
It
what
was
I'm
like,
thinking.
And yeah, Uncle Ben was already dead.
He
And
already
like,
went
I
through that
think it's
moment.
I think it's assumed that he died before
Yeah.
Peter actually got his abilities.
but I was really sad.
But he lost Tony, so I thought we were done.
No, it gotta be
If
an
that happened,
uncle
I'm
or
like, oh, we're
auntie, bro.
not.
It gotta be an auntie or uncle.
Gotta be Kim.
I was really hurt. Like,
Oh, even Miles couldn't escape that
yeah,
shit.
yeah, he
Nope.
could. Yeah,
It's Uncle Aaron.
It's either Uncle Aaron or it was Dad, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah,
I don't know which one is canon because I don't know which one is canon because in the game
I thought it was his mom in the comics.
I don't know.
maybe shit. I know in the game it was his dad. I know in
the movie.
in Spider-Verse it was his uncle.
You gotta lose somebody.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's when things kind of shift for me because I'm like, sir, you fucking up the multiverse. I'm thinking the sacred timeline. What are you doing? But that shit needed to happen for his aunt to say that. So I'm like, damn, this was meant to happen.
I was so
It's
fucking.
kind of fucked up.
I was so okay. Before we like dive into her death, can we talk about Green Goblin?
How bad?
Okay, yes.
Was? How
Baddie.
He did not
Baddie.
deserve that.
You don't
Baddie.
even say that. Stay on. Just say May.
Yes, like okay, I understand why Happy was stuck on that on her. I get it.
He was
Happy was
happy.
just like, wait, we broke up. What? Like I get it, but like okay, Green Goblin in that moment when like Peter Parker like Spidey senses was happening in that apartment, and it was so like I was like, what's going on? And like I felt like Peter was feeling the same way. Like, what is going on? And I thought it was Doc Ock. I thought something was going on with him. And then when it came to be Green Goblin, I was like, well, that makes sense. It makes sense that it was him. I thought that whole fight scene was so dark
Woo, brutal.
and so
He got
interesting.
smashing through several
Yes, I was,
floors.
and then like him was like smacking him and punching him in his face, and he was laughing the whole time. I was just like, I love this so much. I wanted so much more. I was like, yes, this is what I wanted from Tom Holland. Like, no offense. I mean, I'm glad you cool with Iron Man and Doctor Strange, and you were helping out with their adventures. Like, I'm glad. But I wanted him to go through some shit, and he was going through some shit.
Question.
Understand. Like,
Is it really cool with Dr. Strange? He said you didn't even go and contest
no. Well, here's the thing,
for
Peter.
the college entry.
Because he's
No,
dumb.
here's the thing. Like before now, like Peter really been coddled by a lot of people. So like, and so I mean, in order for him to actually grow and become like the adult version of himself, in order to finally grow up, I mean, a lot of this shit had to happen. Like he had to lose Tony, and he had literally had to find his way. So
Yeah.
he had to lose Tony, he had to lose Aunt May, and well, essentially he had to lose everybody.
Yep.
He had to lose
Everybody.
everybody.
Ain't no way home. Ain't no home, nigga. It's gone.
And he had to redefine himself and shit. So yeah.
I just thought Tony was enough because he just came back from being blipped and then he's gone. You like,
Yeah.
just came back. We're here now. We saved the day. Wait, what?
Well, in that sense, like for Tom Holland Spider-Man, for like he didn't. There's no skip. Like it was like
Yeah,
it
there
was.
isn't.
He was like, I phased out, and then next thing I know, I'm here.
Yeah. And then you lose your mentor, and then you
And you
lose your
gone.
auntie, and then you lose your friends. It's like, God damn, it just happened.
Man.
The thing you got to remember is that there was no break between this and like No Way Home, because this shit literally picked up
right when
where
it
ended.
happened. And
Far away
yeah,
from home.
whatever the fuck it's called.
Far from home.
Far from home. And
Far from home.
yeah.
Yeah. Just out of his ass. Yeah, they started right in the midst of it. Started dipping through the damn subway and shit. He like, we
Yeah.
gotta go.
I
Damn.
just want to like point out how amazing the writing is, and the fact that they were able to pull in all of the like the other two Spider-Mans in this and give them some sort of like conclusion on certain situations. And like I was just like, I don't know how. Okay, my only criticism with this movie is there. I got one. Is
Okay, let's go.
Doctor Strange. I know we needed Doctor Strange to get the whole plot going. I get it. We need spell. But the fact that they didn't sit down and actually talk about like what the fuck Peter actually wanted, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna start this spell," and Peter's like, "Wait, can Aunt May still know? Can Zendaya still? MJ still know? Can Ned still know?" And I was just like, in mid spell, you think that like it didn't really feel really like mature in Doctor Strange part. And I know he's really arrogant. I know he think he's that nigga.
Yeah.
I get it. I know that's his personality.
Well, also at the same time, it's like he had a very clear request. Like, just,
But
and it's
okay.
all right. He did. There was if we wanted the exceptions, should have put the exceptions there.
Okay, hold on.
From his perspective,
And I know why he
saying.
don't have kids, because if you talk to any kid, you know they tell you
They
something.
always add, yeah.
Y'all forget, y'all forget. Doctor Strange was gone for 5 years too. He had no personal growth. So
He didn't, and I get it, and I know he don't really fuck with kids like that, but like Tom Holland he's essentially still a teenager. So like him requesting something,
he's an adult
well,
now.
I mean the real. Well, I mean,
I mean,
yes, but
he's
like, come
18.
on. I
He's
felt
in
like I
college
was
still.
still a
Hey, if a nigga
But
teenager.
he's
can
still
When I was
mindset of a
19, I
nigga
was
can
still
vote
a
and get
teenager.
drafted.
like Doctor Strange barely gave Thor the time of day. Like he brought him in, just like, hey, why is Loki here? Get him
Right.
out.
But so that was the only complaint. I was just like, oh, Doctor Strange, you should be a little more, you know. Yeah, and I
shit.
know you not the head sorcerer, but
And leaving kids to
he ain't
Scooby Doo
Sorcerer
this shit
Supreme anymore.
together.
That's what
exactly,
you talking
like
about.
he's not the sorcerer supreme. So
That's
Oh
why
my
Wong
god!
was like, nigga, don't do
Shout
it.
out to Wong. He like, I got
Wong
shit to
keep
do.
dipping out and just doing. Wong, you know
Y'all
what?
handle this
Wong
shit.
does like the most. I don't know what the fuck Wong does, Joe. I don't know what that nigga's daily life is like. Cause like
not
he
fucking
just
around with
shows
Doctor
up
Strange.
anywhere doing the most random shit. It's like, yo, why you in Manipur fucking in cage fights, nigga?
I
Like,
want to know. Can we
that shit
get a Wong movie?
he he does all the nitty gritty in the background.
This
That
nigga was cage fighting. What kind of nitty gritty purpose
And
was
I hope
that?
they address this in
to
whatever
get
the next
information.
Doctor Strange
The next
movie. Like,
movie.
I want to know what the fuck is Wand doing right now. Like, I want to know.
Maybe that's part of his character that you're not supposed to know.
Wong is that one uncle that just be out in the streets and you don't know what he be
Yes!
doing.
He be
I
out in
don't
these
know. He just
streets.
He just like
get
y'all
up,
just
Be
be
bringing
easy.
back
walk out the
random
door.
shit. Like, nigga, what is this? That's my boy June, Joe. Who the fuck is this nigga? Why you invite him here? Damn, I don't know this nigga. He good. Fuck that.
I love Wong. I love him.
But final question. Final question. So we can wrap this up. We got another fucking recording. So you had your criticism about Doctor Strange. I had my criticism with this movie. It's for me, it felt like when it comes to Spider-Man 2 and 3, they have moments where it just like the silence just grew out too long. Like you didn't know what to do with these people when they all together. I'm like, is this supposed to be endearing? Or this shit just got hella awkward. Cause at some point, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield just staring at each other, smiling. Like there's several moments where it's just like,
It had that Lord of the Rings kind of ending. It's like, damn, this is a long ending, and it ends. Damn, there's another ending. Damn, there's another ending.
So, my question for you when it comes to utilizing all the variants of the Spider Man, which one was a superior film? No Way Home or Into the Spider Verse?
I'm gonna put it like this. You can get away with a lot more when it comes to animated shit. I don't think the two are compared. You can't really compare the two.
I'm not even comparing about animation, just utilizing the characters, not their purpose, and utilizing them wisely, not having such dry air, having great interaction with each other
The,
and
di-
chemistry and being
the
utilized. Which
difference
do you prefer?
the difference with being is that everybody in the difference is that with this film, they were different. They were basically different versions of Peter Parker across multiple films, and Hollywood adaptations takes liberties with a lot of the shit that they do. I mean, just like one of these niggas literally produced the spider web from his body for no reason. Like that was never canon. And then on the other hand, with Into the Spider Verse, every last one of those Spider Man that showed up, they were based on real source material.
You might need these.
Every last one of them. All their story arcs, they existed. What was the old girl name? Penny Parker. She actually existed. Was it Peter Porker? He actually existed. He had his own. They each had their own source material that they followed and inspired by that shit. So I don't think that's a real one-to-one. It's not a real one-to-one comparison. Each one of them had their own merits in terms of how they executed certain shit though. But I will say this: I will say this. It's hard to do a film trilogy that's good from start to end. And so like, because usually when you get like a film trilogy, Joe, like the first be okay, then the middle one be like really fucking fire, then the third one would be not as good as the second one but still better than the first. It's weird because like Dark Knight was like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I can say, I think I can say definitively, like with this Spider-Man trilogy, this is like the first film trilogy I can think of that actually gets better with each film. That's my opinion, because like if like this recent film No Way Home, I think it's better than Far From Home, in my opinion, in terms of story, how they
Mm-hmm.
executed shit, and how they brought it close, how they closed one chapter of like Peter Parker's life and basically open him up to like him becoming like the adult Spider-Man that he's supposed to be. And it was a really, it really wrapped up in his entire arc, well, at least that entire arc, in a way that's satisfying to me. Like I would want to see more films beyond that. I just have to hope they don't fuck them up. But yeah, I think this is the one. This is one of the only few films that where the trilogy gets better, where it gets better with each following film. But yeah, the whole Spider Verse versus this shit, I don't think is a 1-to-1 comparison. I think they each have their own merits, and you should judge them respectively on those merits instead of comparing them both.
I
But to clarify the reason I pulled that, I'm mainly doing for a story perspective, not by their origins. For example, Peter B. Parker had a more integral purpose for Miles, as well as
Mhm.
Gwen. Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, they all came together because he lost Aunt May. And there were just some times where their interaction felt stale, because as if they did not have any other plans to use for them other than to be a comfort for him. Andrew Garfield had more range for his character because he actually went through some shit. Older Spider-Man, he was kind of like, the old man of the group. I'm seasoned. I'm experienced.
Youth
I,
pastor.
I, I came through. Right. Youth pastor of the group.
That shit was, yeah, that.
So in that perspective, who do you think fully utilize these characters in regards to support of the character they're there for? Because there's sometimes it felt like it was kind
I'm
of
gonna be
dry.
honest. I feel like it's really impressive that they were able to utilize Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in this movie. I It's really hard like to write where everybody feels satisfied for the most part, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel that Spider-Verse did a better job. And I mean, and I'm being biased with animation, but I just feel that everything I didn't actually, Drea, I didn't really feel that it was a lot of dead space with them. But I do feel that it felt like they was trying to write their ass off to make this shit, fit into
Yeah.
Tom
I
Holland.
feel like they was trying to do that comedy that you get from typical like the Avengers kind of comedy when
Yeah,
they're all buddy buddy
I
and
did.
jokey, but sometimes it's like,
I did. I felt
eh,
it was more organic in an animated
eh?
movie, but
Yeah.
um yeah, but I still think that it's impressive that they were able to do it, and I was convinced, and it makes me feel like, okay, well, I wouldn't mind seeing Andrew Garfield again, and obviously, I would love to see Tobey Maguire again, even with his back issues. I would like to see Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man again because that's what we grew up with, but
You
When
passed
Andrew
the Spider
Garfield
Man.
cracked his back,
I
he
know.
said, "Oh, oh,
It was
is that
nice to
right?"
see. It was a lot of nostalgia, but yeah, I mean, I thought Spider Verse did it better. I'm be honest. I did. I love that movie is like literally one of the top 5 animated movies I've seen in my entire life. So
Wow, that says a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. It's like
I'm interested in the other 4.
the yeah, the range capabilities in animation is so much better. I feel than live action has ever been. Because like for example, the DC animated movies,
mhm.
like that storyline, I really blows my mind every time I watch a lot of those movies. Like, why haven't they hired the writers from these movies to make the live action movies? Because these make sense. These are so much better. It's actually what it should have been in the live
But
action movies.
Ken, think about it. Dave Filoni did
Money.
Clone Wars, and his episode
Who?
in Mandalorian was probably the weakest. I think it's hard to translate somebody that works with animation to live action. I do think it is hard.
Yeah. I think it's a
Uh-huh.
different mindset too with
Yeah,
boarding and all
but
that
I
jazz.
think like Filoni has definitely gotten better. But you know that first episode,
You said he gotten better when we fell off a Bad Batch.
I
Come
didn't.
on
I
now.
finished.
Well, I feel like, well, I feel like Filoni, he's being stretched out. I feel he's having his hands on a little bit too much things right now, and you starting to see. You're starting, yeah. In fact, you're really starting to see that with Bad Batch, because I feel like that was just like,
He doesn't deserve
Dave,
sloppy toppy.
if you got time, if you got time today, go ahead and finish the script.
He still deserves a sloppy toppy. He
hate
came
y'all.
up with those Ahsoka Tano. That's
We
big.
gonna wait for her series. Then we gonna decide.
Anyways, go back to Spider-Man.
That's all I have. Any other additions?
what did
Any
you
other
say something
comments? Hell,
Yeah.
did you say anything?
I need to what? What's
I'm all done unless you want to talk about them end credits.
yeah,
well-
Venom. Symbiote. Yes. That's a thing.
they
I'd
did.
very much like to see how that plays out, because that could play out in a number of different ways. Either they gonna reintroduce Eddie Brock, or Flash Thompson is gonna get the symbiote. It's entirely possible.
I would probably see the Flash Thompson route, because like they'll have to merge that whole other universe in, and like do another like. Well, the universe, multiverse is kind of fucked up right now anyway, so they could, I guess, kind of squeeze that in there somehow.
Yeah, if they go to Eddie Brock, I mean, no, if they go to Flash Thompson route, then we get Agent Venom, which is an entirely different matter of bullshit, which is actually kind of interesting. So we'll it depends. So yeah.
Oh, it was like for me, I just want to say, like, with merging these three Spider verses, it's like Tom McGuire's interactions, a lot of it with his characters is like a high school reunion. And then and then Andrew Garfield's one is like a lot of PTSD and other stuff going on. And
that's a reunion you try to
yeah,
do.
that's
Like,
like
hey, Electro.
that's not even the reunion. That's like the couple years before the reunion. Y'all run into each other in some random setting. It's like, oh, how
At a
you
Walmart.
Not a Walmart.
It's like,
Yo, I saw a
Hey.
TikTok of them just like yelling out when they use their powers for the first time, like whoa, whoa, and it just keeps switching between each of them. Like, god damn, like I don't know, it was weird.
and
Anyway,
then with Tom Holland, they just graduated and trying to get into MIT. So it's like, it's funny how seeing all these like decades as well when it comes
you see
to
that apartment that Tom Holland in? He ain't going to MIT. Shit.
He had the GED book. He got to start over.
And he got to find himself a new black girlfriend.
You know, Tom Holland,
Yeah,
like,
he don't go to that coffee shop.
like him.
That nigga like melanin.
A lot.
I don't blame him, because
don't
that
visit that
motherfucker got
coffee
good
shop.
taste. I ain't gonna lie.
He does.
What was the old girl name in Homecoming? Liz? Black Khaleesi?
Black
No. Damn.
Yeah, she bad.
Yo, put a picture, take her picture and put it next to fucking Amelia Clark as Daenerys.
I can see
Tell me that she don't look like
Okay,
Black
I'm
Khaleesi.
gonna have to look
Boy.
at that. You know she's from Evanston, right?
right. Right.
Yeah.
But that's
That
all
ain't
for
Chicago
me.
shit. Fuck.
I think they done. Y'all done. Any added? Nope. No more. Okay.
It
Thank
was
you.
great.
for tuning in to Echo 4. If you like this shit, please like, comment, and subscribe. We are back. We'll be here for more content. See you next time. Deuces.